Hi, surprise, this is Ken Marusi. I'd like to welcome you to the 65th Auburn Duesenberg Club reunion. This is unique in a different way than with the pandemic. There's only 2 times that we've not been in Auburn in the 65 years. In 1964, I believe, we were at Indianapolis. We had our reunion in Indianapolis, and then this year because of the current situation. I'd like to show you something. Because of the coronavirus, there's one way to avoid touching your face, and that's have a wine glass in each hand. Right now, I'd like to bring up Gary Howell for the invocation like we do every year. Gary?
Good morning. Please join me in our opening prayer for the 2020 annual meeting. Dear Heavenly Father, we come to you today in thanksgiving for this club. We thank you for our health and well-being. We thank you for this great country and the freedom that it brings to each of us, and for those that have gone before us to make it possible. And Father, please be with our freedom forces around the world in these times. We thank you for the club's leadership, the beautiful cars that were designed and built for us to enjoy. We also ask that you would be with each of us here today. Give us wisdom and guidance as we discern and decide the future of this organization and its members. And let us not forget those who created it for all to enjoy. We ask all of these things in your name. Amen.
Thank you, Gary. Before I bring up our current president, I'd like to express some views here. This year is rather unique in the current situation in the country, but I want to give accolades to the board and Lindsey Green for putting this together, something beyond my comprehension. I would have never thought to do this, but thanks to the board putting a tremendous effort out, and Lindsey putting a tremendous plus effort out to get this all together. So before I bring Lindsey up, I'd like to tell you one thing. I have a question for you folks. If you have the coronavirus and you get bitten by a tick, is that a corona with Lyme? So please let me know if you can figure that out. Also, I'd like right now to bring up Lindsey Green, our current president. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Auburn Duesenberg Club's annual meeting. Usually, our annual meeting is part of our membership appreciation ceremony and our awards banquet that takes place at the same time today, 10 a.m., the Sunday before Labor Day. This year, though, nothing is as it usually is. So instead of, like it was last year, where I stood in front of about 250 people, this year I am looking at a video camera, but I am speaking to, hopefully, club members from all over the world. So even though things are not exactly what we expect, there are some things that are really interesting and unique about this. And I would like to welcome every single club member that is watching this morning. This year marks the 65th annual Labor Day reunion of the Auburn Duesenberg Club. As we are all aware, 2020 became a year that none of us could have anticipated. While we're not gathering in Auburn as a group this year, we've tried to put together a few videos throughout the weekend, including this one today, and try to connect with our club members to provide a bit of entertainment this Labor Day reunion weekend. I am going to give my president's report this morning, so I'll be talking about several things that are relevant to the club. I am going to start, as I usually do, with the regional meets. We usually have between 6 and 8 regional meets on the schedule, and this year we had them scheduled, but unfortunately we had to cancel most of those meets. The citrus meet, which I went to with my daughter in Florida, took place in February and was as fun as all of the regional meets usually are. It was hosted by Sid and Belva Meyer, who put together a phenomenal weekend. And this is something that if you've never been to a regional meet, once things even out a bit, I would highly recommend trying one. And so we will keep you posted on what the upcoming schedule is for the future. Our newsletter is a 5-time winner of the Golden Quill National Luxury Category Award. Last year, we implemented a new newsletter schedule where we had 6 full-color print issues, and they were interspersed by 6 digital issues that are delivered by email called our Boat Tail Digital Newsletter. Having the 2 formats actually allows for diverse content. The Boat Tail is a great opportunity to have real-time communication. We put it out there and you receive it that day, which means that that day you can click on links for registrations, you can watch videos, you can look at what the events are coming up and what club members are doing, as well as the same historical and technical content that we try to put forth in the print magazine. In the full color print magazine, the Auburn Core Duesenberg newsletter, we talk about the history and of the Auburn's, Chords, and Duesenbergs, as well as much technical content as we can put forth, and any relevant articles and specific automobiles that we can find. Keep in mind that our publication content is member driven. We invite you to share your knowledge and expertise about ACD cars in our publications for all of our members. I would like to thank our editor, Shannon Olson. She does a phenomenal job taking the articles and content that people send to her and putting it together in a beautiful, readable format. She and our printer, Jay Angler, really worked hard this year to overcome the challenges that COVID-19 presented, including rewriting, changing things, updating schedules. I know that I personally rewrote several articles because the world sort of changed in the midst of things. Both Shannon and Jay do an incredible job with our newsletter, and they are a main reason why we have such a great award-winning publication to put forth. As far as the ACD Club and our financials go, for the previous 2 years, we have had a net profit of over $20,000, largely due to some decreased mailing expenses and other expenses that we were incurring. The club is financially sound, and we will continue similar strategies in the future, and we expect a positive net income for 2020. Our membership numbers have held steady the past few years. Last year, Gretchen Fraunfelter-Grimpe became our membership secretary, taking over the position from Barb and Vinnie Pietricatella, who had done it for 17 years previous. This year, we implemented a new membership system called Emcee to help organize member data, disseminate renewal notices, and send out relevant information to our members. As with any transition, there were a few bumps, but Gretchen put a tremendous amount of effort into the shift, and the system is working beautifully and will be ready for next year's renewal process. We want to hear from you on your experiences as a member, as we are always trying to enhance that experience. And if you know anyone who has a love of ACD cars, please invite them to join the ACD Club. We would love to have them as members. On Thursday, the Board of Directors held their most recent board meeting. This was our 4th meeting of our fiscal year. We usually start in November, have one in March, June, and then our annual reunion board meeting. This was the 3rd virtual meeting that we conducted in 2020. We shifted our March meeting to virtual and planned the next 2. The board of directors is actually getting really adept at using Zoom, and we found that it is a great way to communicate not only during the board meetings, but in between board meetings if there are things that need to be discussed. Prior to the start of our board meetings, in the mornings, we usually have a work session so that we can discuss ideas and collaborate on projects. One of those projects is the updated cord transmission manual, which will be printed shortly. The manual was created by Sid Ayers in 1985, and this year it was digitized, colorized, and modified by several of our club cord experts, including board member Joe Leahy, certification chair Jim O'Brien, Pat Leahy, Lee Foldenauer, and several others. This will be coming to you shortly, and we'll keep you updated. At our June meeting, as most of you know, the board of directors made what may have been the most difficult decision in the club's history. Each one of us loves coming to Auburn and participating in the club events throughout Labor Day weekend. But we felt that the safety of our club members needed to be paramount, so we needed to cancel our in-person events. Every board member took the current world situation extremely seriously, thoughtfully considered all aspects, and shared their own viewpoints. After we made the decision to cancel in-person events, every board member put in extra time to come up with ideas for how we could still commemorate Labor Day weekend. I have never been prouder to work with a group of people, and I would like to take this opportunity to personally thank all of them for being such dedicated club members and dedicated board of directors. Since we did not want to let our 65th reunion pass without notice, we asked several really incredible club members to put together some videos that we could share with all of our club members, regardless of their location in the world. We also decided to share a bit of our reunion traditions with every one of our members. Our next newsletter will be a reunion retrospective issue to share memories from past reunions. So we need your help. We are asking all of our members who have been to reunions in Auburn to send in pictures from those reunions to our editor, Shannon Olson. She is currently putting together a reunion retrospective so that we can see what it's been like over the years in Auburn during Labor Day weekend. When your newsletter arrives, it will contain several goodies in it, including a dash plaque. If you have been to Auburn, you know that a dash plaque commemorating the year is always in your registration packet. This year, every member will receive a dash plaque sponsored by Worldwide Auctioneers. You will also receive a coaster sponsored by Levine Restoration. If you have come to Auburn, you know that if you bring a car, you're handed a mug on the way into Eckerd Park. This year, you'll get a coaster that will hopefully hold your mug. And if you haven't been to Auburn yet and haven't brought a car, then it will give you an opportunity to put a future mug on this coaster. Other items that will be in your goodie bag include a art print of the 2020 reunion poster, a special 2020 magnet, an ACDA museum postcard, and a few other mementos. So we really hope that you enjoy this package when you get it at your home. If you have never been to Auburn, we hope that the newsletter issue and the goodie bag give you a small taste of what it is like, and that when we can all gather together in the way in which we're accustomed, that you choose to venture to Auburn. It truly is a special place, and the ACD reunion over Labor Day weekend is a unique experience. And all of these things are true because our members and the dedication to this club is totally unique. We have incredible members who just will do anything in order to help this club, and we so appreciate you. For the past 2 years, I have had the privilege and the honor of being president of the Auburn Duesenberg Club. It has truly been a special experience. I have worked with incredible people, and I know that the next president is going to do an amazing job. I would like to thank the club members for electing me to the board of directors for 3 terms, and also to thank the board members for putting their trust in me as president for the last 2 years. I would also like to thank my entire family. For those of you who know my story, I have been in this club for a really long time and experienced my first Auburn when I was 8 months old. What's really great about that story is that it is not a unique story at all in this club. There are so many people who have started as kids and are still in the club, many of whom also, like myself, now have kids of their own who are also junior members. This is something that I really think speaks to the worthwhileness of our club and also just how unique we really are. So I would also like to thank my husband because, as I mentioned last year during this same speech, I talk about the club a lot, and he is a very good listener. And after I mentioned that last year, I had several people come up to me and say, you know what? We have a lot of conversations about the club as well. And that also speaks to the uniqueness of our club, that it's something that's so special that we all talk about it at home. So thank you to all of them. And thank you to all of you to being club members in this really important club. I would like to take a moment to remember some of the club members that have passed away this year. Sylvia Seck, Richard Kuhn, Herb Montgomery, Marilyn Teeter, Clive Cussler, Robert Farbacher, Bill Stever, Doris Johnson, Charter Member Bob Geen, past National President Jim Corbin, Chuck Morgan, Ernie Foster, Al Frankel and Margaret Frankel, Stan Francis, Bob Baer, Thomas DeGroat, Ray Dunford, William Malloy, Bob Pinarelli. If there are any members that I missed, please feel free to use the comment section on the YouTube video to put them in or to contact us directly. And I would like to share a moment of silence in remembrance. Thank you. So normally, if we were in a room together, I would ask certain members of our club to stand up. So because we're doing everything a little differently this year, we are going to do this a little differently as well. I would like to ask that if you are a past recipient of the Man of the Year Award, if you could write that in the comments section of our YouTube videos so that we know that you are out there. We have many past Man of the Year recipients who are still incredibly active club members, and so we'd love to hear from you. At this time, I would also like to ask any past Woman of the Year recipients to post in the comments section. Our past Man of the Year recipients and past Woman of the Year recipients have done a tremendous amount for our club, and we appreciate all of your efforts over the years and still currently in order to make our club great. Now I'd like to ask the past presidents to mark in the comment section that they are out there and that they are a past president. And the last group of members that I would like to post in the comments section are all of you out there. Please post how many years you have been a club member, whether it is 1 year or 64 years. We want to hear from you or more. I would like to say at this point, we have just a very small number of charter members left. We lost Bob Geen, a charter member this year. Our two active charter members are Ernest Bennett and Roger Eddy. And Roger Eddy is one that if we were in Auburn, he would also be there at the Auburn Hotel. And we just so appreciate that there are members still with us and still active today who were in that first group of people who answered an ad in Motor Trend magazine in 1952. So thank you to all of you who have put things in our comment section and have written down that you are out there and that you are a part of this club and how long you have been a part of this club. Thank you. We always have speakers at our annual meeting, and this year is just the same as it usually is. The first speaker I'd like to introduce is the Honorable Michael Lay, the Mayor of the City of Auburn. Mayor Lay began his first term this year in 2020, and while we have not met in person yet, we have gone back and forth with emails and phone calls throughout the year. We really appreciate his support of the ACD Club and also his willingness to participate in today's annual meeting. So without further ado, Mayor Michael Lay.
Welcome. Hi, I'm Mike Lay, newly elected mayor of City of Auburn. Although we can't meet in person or as a group, I'd like to introduce myself and once again welcome you to the City of Auburn for the annual Labor Day Festival and activities. And while that's been postponed for a year, which we're sad to say, we still want to highlight the heritage and all the great things that have made Auburn such a great place. And with that, although you won't be here this year to maybe see this, I'd like to share a few things that's happened in our city in the last year. And one thing we're most proud of is that the city just dedicated a safe haven baby box at one of our fire stations. And we've got downtown development going on. We've had several new businesses come to town. We're getting ready to dedicate on Labor Day, or just after Labor Day weekend, a new skate park that's been in the making for a couple of years, and we're excited about that. We've also expanded activities and improvements to many of our city parks. We've had several businesses open up within our community in the last year. We've improved our trails. We've increased our housing, and just many, many other things. Our library just completed the recent renovation and was opened back up this year, and we are so grateful for that. And so, again, there's so many things happening this year, but I'm sure to tell you that by this time next year, when you come and we are together in 2021, that you will see many, many more things that are yet to happen and will be in the works when you arrive in 2021. So with that, again, I want to thank you for the opportunity to meet with you. I want to welcome you to the City of Auburn virtually. I want to welcome you to the City of Auburn in person in 2021. Thank you so much.
I would like to introduce Brandon Anderson, the Executive Director of the Auburn Duesenberg Automobile Museum. I have had the pleasure of working with Brandon over the last 2 years since his start at the museum, and the club and the museum have worked on a few collaborations. I really look forward to working on those collaborations in the future and also to seeing what the museum has in store for us. So, without anything further, let's hear from Brandon.
Oh, hello. I'm sorry I didn't see you come in there. Welcome to Alan Leamy's office. And I'm Brandon Anderson, the Executive Director and CEO of the Auburn Duesenberg Automobile Museum. It's great to be coming to you virtually, to my fellow club members, and excited to provide you an update on the museum. As many of you know, unfortunately, we were closed for several months, but we did reopen successfully on June 14th. We've had really good visitorship. We have been between 50 and 60% in comparison to last year. And we are creating new exhibits. When we reopened, we opened up out of quarantine. 17 vehicles from the museum's collection storage that have never been seen together before, now on display here at the museum. And in fact, we're waiting, actually should be here about now, for Augie Duesenberg's 1927 Model A coming from the Indianapolis Motor Speedway Museum. We're opening up a new exhibit that's exploring the evolution of the Duesenberg from the Model A to the Model X to the Model Y to the Model J. We'll have 8 vehicles on display in the South Showroom, and that's going to be an exhibit that'll be open until March of next year. I'm sorry that we can't all be together and here in Auburn and having all the fun that we do, whether it's in Eckhart Park, here at the museum, downtown around the courthouse, or just being able to see each other, maybe at Cricket's, grabbing a burger and a drink. But we do know that we'll be together again soon, and appreciate everybody coming together, and especially for the Auburn Corps Duesenberg Club for inviting us to be a part of this message, and for the great partnership that we have also along with the Auburn Corps Duesenberg Festival. It's been a very interesting year. Thankfully, we have a very strong museum, and we have very strong supporters, just like you. And we really appreciate everything that you do for the museum and keeping this a viable and relevant institution where all of us can appreciate the history and heritage that we preserve and interpret for the entire world. We look forward to additional events, programs, exhibits, new collections, and also there will be some big news coming out this year about how your Auburn Corps Duesenberg Automobile Museum is making the news and going around the world, and we are spreading that heritage and love for the history that we all collectively share and preserve. So thank you so much for being a part of our community, being a friend and supporter of the museum. We look forward to seeing some of you that will be here in Auburn. Hope you can come and visit the museum. Remember, you can always visit us virtually on our website, and we're adding more collections onto our Past Perfect site, so you can view those photographs from our archives from the Auburn Corps and Duesenberg collection. We recently are putting our racing collection on there. And then also be sure to check us out on our Facebook and Twitter, and be connected with us, because we are creating new virtual ways to engage with our community, especially younger audiences, so that they too can share in all the passion that we share. Thank you, and it's my pleasure to be coming to you today, and look forward to seeing you soon.
Hey, you still listening?
The next guest I'd like to introduce is Dave Yard, the Executive Director for NATMUS. It has been exciting to see the progress of NATMUS's exhibits over the years, and right now they are working on a 1930s service station. NATMUS and the ACDA Museum are also working together to enhance the experience for visitors who come to Auburn. So the next time we do all gather together in Auburn, there will be exciting things to see. So Dave Yard, thank you for joining us this morning.
I'm Dave Yard, the Executive Director here at the National Auto and Truck Museum in Auburn, and I'd like to welcome the ACD Club and members to NATMUS here and share some of the excitement that we have. I'd also like to welcome you to your awards banquet and extend an offering to come over to NATMUS here and take a look at some of the exciting things that we have going on. Well, one of our big projects here that we have going on right now is the construction of the newest Auburn dealership to open in about 85 years. And as you take a look here, you're going to be able to see what has turned out to be a major project here in NATMUS. We are literally constructing a building within a building, and this is going to be the newest dealership in the Auburn lineage here to open up. And this particular building will have a showroom where we'll have 2 automobiles in it, plus a salesman's desk and period correct furniture and everything with it, as well as an attached garage, which a dealership would have had here, with a period lift, period tools, and an Auburn in there that would be in for repairs as would have been back in the day. As you notice here, the building on the facade here, it's all 2x4 construction. We've used cement board, and then we found this special gridding, which looks like a chrome building here, that will be used to, it makes it easier to put the actual brick on. So the building facade on the outside will be brick, and we can show you a sample of that here in a few minutes here, but an exciting project. We've had our adults working on it here. We've had our youth working on it. Our youth have learned woodworking skills such as how to put studs up, how to cut, how to hang drywall, how to clean up after the daily mess is done here. So a variety of different things. We've showed them how we pull wires, just a variety of different things that they may never get a chance to do. But this is all being constructed here with volunteer labor. We'd hoped to have it done by Labor Day weekend here, but with the virus, we were closed since the middle of March, and we're closed for 85 days, and we're now getting our volunteers back, and we're on target here, and we're ready to start putting the brick up here. So that'll be starting here very, very soon. So the next time you come by, the facade will be done, the brick will be done, and we'll be ready to start putting cars and everything else in it. So an exciting project, and I really hope you can come and take a look. For the members who want to help or contribute, we can always use funds to help. It's been a very expensive project. Or if you have period furnishings that you might want to loan or donate, we could use chandelier type fixtures for the dealership part itself. Any signage that you might have that would be period correct. I know that they made some porcelain reproduction signs for Auburn Parts and Service. If anybody has anything like that you'd like to contribute that we can hang up, anything that we can use that would be period correct for the dealership would be greatly appreciated. And this will be a working exhibit. That means that it'll change. People will be able to walk in and take a look and see what it's like in the dealership as well as outside, view the cars that we have. On the far end, on the north end, will be a place where 4 or 5 Auburns that would look like a used car lot. If members have something they want to sell, we'll be glad to do that. So we're trying to make it a fully functional dealership right here in the NATMUS Museum. Another goal we have is that during Labor Day weekend, we want to be able to open up the garage door down here where you would be able to drive your ACD car in down the aisle, park it in front of the finished dealership, and be able to use it as a photo op. So we're really excited about that, so that we can give the members a photo opportunity here in front of the dealership, and again, just something there that a new experience for everybody. The whole thing behind this really is to try to get the young people involved here with something exciting. We've got them involved with the construction part, and they're excited about that. And we also want to get them involved with the older cars here, the ACD cars, and some of the members here, so that everybody can be actively involved with the younger members, the junior members, those that aren't members, and just to promote the club, promote the ACD cars, and above all, have fun, and to get the next generation or generations involved here to keep it going long after we're gone. So that's the dealership, and that's why it's a permanent fixture here at NATMUS, and we're taking the extra effort to make sure that it will last for many years. So thank you for the opportunity to be here with you today. Sorry we can't be here in person, but please stop by, call, and if you have anything you'd like to contribute to the dealership here, we'd be more than happy to discuss it with you. Thank you.
I'd like to welcome Leslie Peel, the Executive Director of the Auburn Duesenberg Festival. Since the festival and the club collaborate on several events during a normal Labor Day weekend, Leslie and I kept in continuous communication through the first half of 2020. Leslie and I have actually never met in person, but we have spoken on the phone so much I feel like I know her like an old friend. I thoroughly enjoyed working with her and other members of the ACD Festival board, and I know that we are all looking forward to collaborating in the way in which we are accustomed in the future. So, ladies and gentlemen, Leslie Peel.
Greetings, Auburn Duesenberg Club members. This is Leslie Peel, ACD Festival Executive Director, coming to you from a beautiful and balmy Auburn, Indiana. The only thing that we're missing here today is a little bit of shade and all of you. Typically this time of year, with me having worked at the festival previously, I remember a lot of you stopping in to the office to visit as we gear up for Labor Day weekend, as well as just seeing all your cars around town. So many of you in local businesses, at the kickoff luncheon down at Eckhart Park, heading through Auburn for the parade. All of those things this year will be sorely missed with the cancellation of the 2020 festival. So I just wanted to let all of you know on behalf of myself, as well as our board, our ACD Festival Board how much you are going to be missed and how much we are looking forward to celebrating with you next year for 2021 when it's safe for us to do so. So just to let you know kind of what's going on here, we are transitioning to planning for ACD Festival 2021. As far as our ACD Festival Guide, that magazine that comes out every year, we kind of stopped what we had done so far, which was quite a bit of work, and we're transitioning to the 2021 magazine. But we are hoping to use a lot of that content that we'd already created to still pay homage to the 120th anniversary of the Auburn Automobile Company, as well as that feature of Women Behind the Wheel. So I plan to have a section in next year's festival guide that still includes hopefully a lot of the things that we would have planned to have in for this year. We're so looking forward to seeing what you choose as next year's theme. And I'm also excited to see how everything goes with your virtual reunion. This year has really gotten us thinking about ways to engage all of you and your membership going forward, not just in the time where we're dealing with a pandemic, because hopefully next year we will be free of wearing these and we won't have to socially distance. But I do think it's a really good idea to do a lot of these virtual events, or have events that can be followed, I should say, virtually by members who aren't able to travel to Auburn for the reunion. I know there are a lot of you who can't from time to time come certain years, and we want to make sure we're engaging as many members and people who would love to be virtual attendees. So that's something that's going to be really important for us as we move into 2021. As far as merchandise, I know a lot of you stop into the office to chat, but a lot of you also come in to buy t-shirts and posters, badges, pins, bumper stickers. If you are needing any of those items and would like to purchase any of those, please reach out to me at the office. You can give me a call, you can shoot me an email, or you can even purchase those items through our website, acdfestival.org. There's a tab there actually where you can purchase merchandise as well. So let me know if I can help in any way with any of those items. So just, again, I just want to let you all know how much you'll be missed next week. It's going to be very, very quiet around here. And just stay safe, stay healthy. And on behalf of myself and the Board of Directors for the ACD Festival, we wish you well. And we're looking forward to seeing you again in 2021. Take care.
Are you still listening?
Our club is filled with dedicated volunteers, people who donate their time and expertise in order to make our experience great for all of our club members. One of those volunteers is our Chief Judge, Alan McCrary. So in a normal year, Alan would stand up here with me on stage and we would present competitive awards to the cars that came to Auburn. But since nothing is normal about 2020, instead, Alan is going to give an update on judging and also just share with us his experiences from California this year. So Alan, please join us.
Good morning, fellow members of the Auburn Duesenberg Club. I'm Alan McCrary, and I have the distinct honor and privilege of being the Chief Judge of the club. I think Auburn can best be described, the reunion, as a warm social gathering of like souls who gather to pay homage to the products of E.L. Cord and the Auburn Automobile Company. And unfortunately, warm social gathering is not a term that we can be using these days. Today, I would normally be speaking to you from the podium at the Auburn Duesenberg Museum, but today I'm in a different location. I'm in another world-class museum, and that's the Black Hawk Automotive Museum in Danville, California. Initially, my black cabriolet was here on loan, on a display to educate the public more about the Auburn Automobile Company and Gordon Burig, but sadly, no one's been here to see the car for several months now because of the pandemic. There is a silver lining in that, however, in that my community has been threatened by some very vicious wildfires for the past 7 days, and it gave me a warm feeling to know that the car was safe here in this major structure, far from the fire. Also, normally I'd be giving out the awards to those people who earned them at the banquet. However, this year that's obviously not going to happen, so I'd like to talk for just a minute about what it takes for me to be handing those awards out. And it's the work of a number of volunteers, over 100 to be exact. It starts with the Waken brothers, who revamped the registration process, making my job so much easier. Craig Burkhold, the meet chairman, who puts the whole event on, and then my associate chief judge, Mark Tomei, who I owe a tremendous debt of gratitude. It starts on Saturday morning, of course, in the park. It starts nice and early at 7 o'clock if you're there that time of the day, where the In Motion crew is at work in the swimming pool parking lot. And then our parking crew are placing the cars in the appropriate locations around the field. We have Cheryl Howe and Barbara Engler, who have for many years graciously donated their time to run the judge's office and to get everyone off on the right foot. And by everyone, that can be anywhere from 50 to 70 judges, depending on the particular year. We have the 4 judging coordinators that supervise those groups. We have the local 4-H club, who run the results of the judging up to the tabulators, which is Mary Hall and Carol Eston, who've done that job for a number of years, and they do a terrific job of getting those numbers in to my Best of Show committee so we can proceed to the square after the parade and pick the Best of Show. The next day at the museum, it seems to be a seamless and hopefully flawless presentation, but once again, it's the work of many people that have gone in to do that. Jory Ackerman, our awards chair, has laid out a tremendous set of our awards, which takes a lot of time to match the winner with the trophy. And Tom Lee, for many years now, has been in charge of the great video presentation so you can see which cars we're talking about when the awards are given out. My next subject is the status of the judging standards. I'll just talk on that briefly. We have the 4 that have been completed, so we're almost halfway. Court 810, 812, the late Speedster, Auburn 12, and the Duesenberg Model J have all been completed. Auburn 851, 852, other than Speedster, is in process, and we had hoped to kick that off at Auburn this year, but it's going to look like it's going to be next year. Just as a reminder, all those forms are available to you as a member on the website, the ACD Club website, and you can go on to the website and download the forms if you so desire, and hang them in your garage or give them to your restorer as a guide to make your car as authentic as possible, which is our goal here. And once again, big debt of gratitude to Mark Tomei, as he's the father of those forms, and I want to make sure that that's clear. The last item I have, you heard it here first, your board of directors has approved a new award to be given starting next year when appropriate, and that's for the car of historical significance. That's a car that was outside the regular mold, if you will, when these cars were made initially, such as perhaps the Mormon Meteor. We want to recognize those cars, and to do so, we've come up with an award that's named after Josh Mawks, who was a tremendous contributor and a tremendous friend to the club, and past newsletter editor and author of Chord Complete and so on and so forth. So that award will help perpetuate his memory. In closing, I'd just like to say, to remind you, that is, that the cars are still here, the people are still here, the interest is still here, and of course the club is still here. We just need somewhere to meet, and I'm looking forward to seeing you at Auburn in 2021. Thank you.
At this time, I would like to introduce the board of directors of the ACD Club. Vice president this past year was Craig Burkhold. Joe Leahy was treasurer. Mark Spandico was secretary. Other board members are Bob Becker, Tom Hartz, Vivian Levine, Keith Olszewski, and Barbara Pietricatella. We just held our election for the coming term, and the election results are as follows. Craig Burkhold Bob Becker and Barbara Pietricatella will serve the 3-year term on the board. I'd like to thank all of our candidates for being willing to serve the ACD Club in this capacity and offer congratulations to the 3 who will be serving. For the coming year, the officers are as follows. Craig Burkhold will be president, Bob Becker will be vice president, Keith Olszewski will be secretary, and Vivian Levine will be treasurer.
You better still be watching.
Our annual meeting and awards banquet always includes non-competitive awards that go to deserving club members for their dedication to the ACD Club and ACD automobiles. While we knew we would need to adjust how we presented this year, the board of directors felt it was incredibly important to honor those individuals who have contributed to the club and not wait another year in order to present some of these awards. Prior to today, we met up with each of these recipients to present their awards in person. The first award that we will be presenting today is the Ken Van Osdale Driving Award. The Ken Van Osdale Ring Award is presented in memory of Ken Van Osdale to club members, by club members to an Auburn driver who, like Ken, believes in driving his or her own original Auburn and believes in helping fellow Auburn drivers get and keep their cars on the road. This year's recipient can be seen driving her Auburn during every season and in all weather conditions. She drives on tours, to and from events, in parades, and on her own whenever she has the opportunity. She offers rides to anyone who would like to experience a ride in an Auburn, and works with local schools to introduce ACD cars to 4th graders and share their history and beauty. The lack of official events this year did not deter her from driving her Auburn frequently in her community. It is my great honor to present this award today. The winner of the Ken Van Osdale Ring this year is Carrie Ackerman. So I would like to introduce this year's winner of the Ken Van Osdale Driving Ring Award, Carrie Ackerman, who has just come in from driving all.
Thank you. It's a great honor. I knew Ken very well growing up with him, and this award means more to me than anything I could ever even think about winning, just because I knew him personally and I love driving my car. I drive it everywhere, as you can tell with my hair, and so thank you. It's an honor.
It's well deserved. The next award that we will present today is the Woman of the Year Award. This award is presented to a woman who has made an outstanding contribution to the automotive field and an outstanding contribution to the ACD Club. This year's recipient has volunteered for the ACD Club in many, many capacities over the years. She has emceed multiple ladies' tea events, co-emceed the annual awards banquet, held the position of the reunion chair, used her artistic talents to help in ACD Club's event planning, and has contributed in many other ways throughout the years, very often in period costume to remind us what it looked like to live in the 1930s. It is my extreme privilege to be able to present this year's award. The winner of the Woman of the Year Award is Jessica Butler. So we asked you to come here today because you are so often MC at events, except this is not that. Today, I would like to present you with the 2020 Woman of the Year Award.
Nuh-uh.
So congratulations, and thank you so much for all that you have done for the Auburn Duesenberg Club.
Thank you. This is really. I think anybody who's met me knows how much the club means to me. My family, it's been a big part of our family since my great-great-grandfather worked in the factory, and it's my favorite year out of the year every year. So thank you very much.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
The final club award that I will be presenting today is the Man of the Year, or the Blue Blazer Award. This award is presented to a man who has made an outstanding career in the automotive field, or has long-term dedicated service to the ACD Club, or an unusual and noteworthy accomplishment in either category. This year's recipient has served on the board of directors for 9 years and served as president for 2. During his presidency, he traveled to every regional meet and even flew to Australia to participate in the ACD Club of Australasia's events. He is a dedicated cord owner who is always willing to help fellow members with their cars. He has passed his love of cars and the ACD Club to his children, and you will often see a large gathering of his family members, friends, and cars during Labor Day weekend. For several decades, he has been an active, dedicated club member. It is my pleasure and my honor to present this award to this year's recipient. I'm very pleased to announce that the winner of the Blue Blazer Award and our Man of the Year for 2020 is Pat Leahy. At this time, I would like to introduce this year's Man of the Year recipient, Pat Leahy.
I am surprised.
So, because this is a little different, there's a little subterfuge in some of these award recipients. But thank you very much, Pat. And I did actually share with everyone your years of service and the amount of time and effort that you have put into this club. And without further ado, congratulations on receiving the Man of the Year Award for 2020.
Thank you very much. I really appreciate that. Oh, it's got a cord emblem on it.
You know,
Now I know why he's coming to wear long pants.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So no matter how technologically adept we were prior to 2020, I feel like we have all had to step it up a notch in order to figure out how to connect and how to be a part of organizations and groups, even if we can't necessarily sit in the same room together. So for me, that meant employing a technical support team. So I'd like to introduce you to my Chief Technical Officer. This is my daughter, Clara. Want to say hi?
Yeah. Hello.
So at 10 years old, Clara has a lot more technological knowledge than I may ever have. And she has been an incredible help in all of the things that I've had to do this year. So thank you, Clara.
You're welcome.
And also thank you to everyone else who has helped. When we started to put together today's presentation, we reached out to the people who are usually a part of the annual meeting, and you have seen videos from each and every one of them. Everyone did an incredible job, rose to the occasion. Ken Marusi came up with all kinds of ideas to entertain us, even if we aren't necessarily in the room together, and everyone else put together videos that really have made today's presentation special. And the vision for today's program was board member Joe Leahy's, who I'm pretty sure did not need his kids' help to put together. He is incredibly skilled and really did a fantastic job putting together today's program. So thank you to everyone who helped, and thank you to all of you for watching and participating today.
Thank you for joining us. We really wish you all stay safe and well. And this brings to a close our 65th annual reunion. Thank you very much for joining us.
you laughing at me? Why?
Go ahead, do it again.
What did I do wrong?
And you got Troy in the background making faces.
Hey, I'm watching you.
Also, Mayor Lay, thank you to everyone for helping us put together something this morning. And also another thank you to Joe Leahy for working with this. Why don't I start again?
So good. You were so close. That one was not your fault. Trying to get.
Thank you. I need my bodyguard. I need my muscle.
Yes, folks, he really does have pants on. Ha ha.